week 13 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few centers I looked to sell and trade this week. The first guy, Isaiah Hartenstein of the New York Knicks. Hartenstein, he's been a great replacement for Mitchell Robinson, who's out for the majority of the season with a foot injury. So on the year for Hartenstein, 6.8 points a game, 8.3 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 1.2 steals, 1.1 blocks, and 60% from the field. So right now he's a 4 or 5 category type of player, especially rebounding and shot blocking is his specialty. In the last couple weeks, 9.6 points a game, 15.1 boards, 2.7 assists, 1.7 steals, 2 blocks, and 69% from the field. So like I said, he's an elite shot blocker and rebounder right now, is Hartenstein for this New York Knicks team. And he's a guy pretty much every game, it seems like 12, 15 boards minimum he's getting. January 11th at Dallas, 8 points, 15 boards, 3 assists, a steal, 66% from the field. January 13th at the Grizzlies, 12 points, 20 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks, 83% from the field. And January 15th versus the Magic, 7 points, 12 boards in that one, 3 assists, 50% from the field. So right now playing great basketball, but the Knicks possibly might go out there and try to trade for a center, where reports coming out they're interested in Clint Capella as well as this New York Knicks team, where that would put a Hartenstein back to the bench. I think this Knicks team, they like Hartenstein, but not really as a starter. He's a guy to come off the bench with energy to rebound and block shots. So right now, while he's been starting obviously for Robinson and playing great basketball, with a trade possibly in the works for this Knicks team, I think Hartenstein's a sell high center this week. And like I said, he can help fantasy owners in 4 or 5 categories. But if he's a backup in the next couple weeks here, if a trade comes down the pike towards the deadline, he's not going to have much value. So I look to sell and trade this week's Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis, another monster year, no doubt about it. And he's been healthy, only missing a handful of games as well as Davis. 25.1 points a game, 12.2 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 1.2 steals, 2.5 blocks, and 55% from the field. So AD right now, it's been a great year for him. And health has always been an issue, and that's why I don't think things are going to keep up for AD right now. Staying healthy the whole year and putting up some of these monster lines. And this Los Angeles Lakers team, they might make a deal towards the deadline as well, where right now they're 20-21 on the season, and they're looking to improve a little bit. So January 11th versus Phoenix, 13 points, 5 boards, an assist, a steal, 2 blocks, 54% from the field. January 13th at the Jazz, 15 points, 15 boards, 11 assists, a triple-double in that one, a steal, 4 blocks, 23% from the field. And January 15th in a big victory versus the Thunder, 27 points, 15 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block, 52% from the field. So Anthony Davis, no doubt about it, top 5 player in fantasy basketball this season, putting up monster numbers, staying healthy. But like I said, I think the other shoe's going to drop with Anthony Davis. And if this Laker team does bring in Zach LaVine, let's say, a DeJounte Murray, or some other type of scorer, I think his numbers are going to drop off a little bit as well as Davis, and the ball's not going to be in his hands as much. And we know LeBron James, over the last few weeks, there's in and out of the lineups. If LeBron gets back in the lineup more consistent as well, I think the numbers have dropped off just a bit here for Anthony Davis. But right now, while he's playing great basketball, healthy and at peak value, I think you can get 2 players easily in a deal for Anthony Davis, and he's a sell high this week. Third and final center I look for sell and trade this week's Miles Turner of the Indiana Pacers. So another good year here for Turner, no doubt about it. 17.2 points a game, 7.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.9 blocks, 1.3 threes a game, and 52% from the field. So Miles Turner, we know he's a good shot blocker. We know he's been pretty efficient from the field, and he's a good 3-point shooter as well for a big man. So Miles Turner, he's going to get you solid numbers, but I just feel like his peak is about 15, 16 points a game, 7-8 rebounds, and about a block and a half with a good field goal percentage. But I'm saying you could trade him out there for a guard with more upside and who's going to fill the stat sheet a little bit more. So January 12th at Atlanta, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 55% from the field. January 14th at Denver, 12 points, 4 boards, and assists, 2 steals, a block, 45% from the field. And January 15th at Utah, 12 points, 4 rebounds, a 3, and 50% from the field. So like I said, his value, he's been solid for fantasy basketball, no doubt about it. At the center position is Miles Turner, but his ceiling isn't all that high. And also with Tyrese Halliburton, who's been out over the last week or so here, his numbers really haven't taken the next step. So right now, well, Halliburton's out, and you figure Miles Turner would be playing better and putting up better stats. It just hasn't been the case. So right now, with his ceiling not being much, in my opinion, I still think you could get a good guard in the deal for Miles Turner. Someone who's going to have more upside and score the basketball more and even rebound a little bit better, because the last 3 games, Turner's rebounding really hasn't been all that great. where he's only got 15 boards the last 3 games, 5 per game. So right now, he's a player I look to sell and trade. So that's a few centers I look to sell and trade here for Week 13 of the fantasy basketball season.